Welcome to the Natural Way of Being video blog. This video is titled, Making Room for Something New. Now I can almost guarantee that sometime in the last year, you've said to yourself or decided that you wanted to awaken something new in your life. Now it could be a new relationship, or it could be adding romance and passion to your existing relationship. It could be a new friendship or a new spiritual practice or a new yoga practice. But whatever it is, my question to you is, have you made room for it in your life? Because the thing is, our minds do not like the void. They do not like emptiness and space. So our minds, often unconsciously, tend to fill our lives up with things. Now these things may be very productive, and they may be necessary. And I certainly understand that. It may be you may be building your career, supporting your family. You may be raising your family and building a career. You may be making a difference out in the world in some way or another. Or it could be less productive. You could be binging Netflix or doing whatever else. But whatever it is, our mind tends to fill our lives up with things to do. So chances are, as you're hearing this video, I suspect that your life is full. So what happens when we go to add or awaken the new thing in our life is we tend to plaster it over an already full life. When we tell ourselves, it's like, oh no, I can do this. I made all the other stuff fit, so I'll just fit this new thing in. But what that tends to do is add stress and tension, because chances are you already had more things going on in your life than you had time in the day for. Now you've got a new thing that you're adding in as well. And it creates tension and it creates frustration, which you tend to associate with the new thing. Because now that I'm awakening this new thing, my life is even more stressful than it was before. So it's like this negative association of stress that you're putting with your new thing. And the other thing is, new things require some room to breathe. Okay? They're not like efficient. It takes a while to allow them to grow and develop, and we have to trial and error and try this and so they don't just fit neatly into a little space that we put in our daily planner. They need some room to organically grow and develop. So there's this really cool Zen story that I think really addresses this nicely. You may have heard it. It's a pretty common story. But the student wants to study with a Zen master. So the master says, okay, well, we need to do tea ceremony, because that's what tradition has it. When you start a new Zen relationship, you do tea ceremony. So the master starts pouring tea, okay? And the tea goes into the cup and fills the cup and begins to overflow, and then goes onto the saucer, and then overflows on the saucer, and then starts going onto the table and onto the floor. And the poor student doesn't know what to do. He's freaking out. Finally, he gets the courage to say, Master, can't you see that the tea is overflowing and going onto the floor? And the teacher says, can't you see that your mind is already full and there's no room for Zen? So in our tradition, what my teacher used to say to me all the time is Mike, you need to empty your cup. And it's an expression for making room. It's like when we empty the cup, now there's room for something new. And now it can hold that new thing and not overflow. So then the question gets to be, what that's in your life now are you willing to let go of to make room for the new thing that you want to awaken? It may be that it's time to let go of something anyway. Perhaps you have something in your life, an activity or a habit or a behavioral pattern that no longer serves you. So this would be a natural time. Let go of that, and it'll make room for the new thing that you want to awaken. And what it does is it makes time and energy. It's not just a time thing. It's not just a schedule thing. It's also the new thing requires energy. And so it's like making room energetically so we have some energy left to unfold this new thing. So it could be more practical as well. You could hire a babysitter to watch your kids, send your kids to camp, hire a part-time employee to help manage your business to free up some time and space, or whatever it is, just like rearranging your life a little bit, in a more practical way. But there's going to be a tendency to want it both ways because, that's what human beings are. We tend to want it both ways. We want the new thing, but we don't want to have to let go of an old thing. But the bottom line is we have to choose. It's like, so do you want the new thing bad enough that you're willing to let go of an old thing? Are you willing to, if you want it bad enough, you're willing to empty your cup? So, and this isn't even the hardest part of this journey. If you've had the idea and you've awakened this new thing, that's actually much more challenging thing to do. This is a more practical thing, but it's really challenging to do. We just don't tend to want to make room for things. We were just up doing ceremony for the summer solstice ceremony, and I got to witness and help facilitate some really cool stuff. And I just saw people offer these amazing prayers for new things that they wanted in their lives and offer these intentions to awaken these new things. So they did this work. They dug inside of their soul and they pulled these things out, and it was just like beautiful. And you could see that like when they did that, the new thing was like being born. It awakened right there. And now all they need to do is bring it into their lives and integrate it and make room for it. But the sad thing is if they don't make room for that new thing, it's gonna die a slow death. And then about 3 months later, they'll like forget that they even did that, and this is tragic, and it happens all the time, but it doesn't have to be this way. Go the extra mile, make room for the new thing in your life. So anyway, that is my video blog. Thank you for watching. I hope you have an awesome week and that you care about your new thing enough to make just a little bit of room for it in your life. And thanks a lot. I'll see you in a week.